Welcome. We're here with beautiful Ashley. I am super excited to share with you her amazing magic. And without further ado, of course, you all know me, Johanna, intuitive artist, healer, and a clairvoyant metaphysical coach. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm going to introduce my wonderful dear friend, Ashley, and give it over to her. Tell us who you are, Ashley. Your magic.
Oh, my magic. Yes, my alchemy that I do. I currently am branded under Ashley the Alchemist. I am a wealth healer and manifestation coach. I became a manifestation coach due to dear Johanna here, really helping me own it. I really help women step into their power and manifest from the divine feminine. And I've had clients featured in international publications, published books, amazing stuff. And I have lots and lots of things going on currently. I run about 8 different business ventures right now. I'm a little bit insane, but Johanna knows it.
Exactly. You have exploded since I last saw you. So I have your energy drawing here, and it says June 13, 16.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know this, but what I wanted to share, the little secret was, I've been doing the energy drawings for 16 years, right? For my Reiki classes as gifts, something that I've helped utilize as a tool to teach my students how to draw and feel into energy and learn the language of color. But I had not officially launched a separate business that just was literally offering the energy drawings as an individual piece, as an individual tool for specific events and client sessions. And Ashley, you were the first person to pay for one.
What? Are you kidding me?
No, I figured that would be a great surprise to share for you.
No, I had no idea. And you do these for how freaking long?
Well, I had never actually itemized the payment for that specific event. So you were the first person that day. I had 2 clients, but you were the first person to officially purchase. And so considering where we've been in the last year, craziness that has happened, it's so magical to have you back and have you share this amazing story, considering the fact that you, a very select few, after the hundreds of drawings I've done now, actually had these dollar signs in your auric field. And I guess tell us a little bit about that particular session with me. What did it bring up for you, and where did it go?
Well, to hear that I was going to be really good at manifesting money was definitely a shocker, considering there was so much karmic debt in my family. It's just not even funny, which I ended up finding out later when I really realized all the gifts that I have. I do wealth healing at the DNA level, and I never would have known this. Well, I don't think I ever would have known it if I hadn't had the session with you. You really opened my eyes to what was available to me. I had all these psychic gifts, and I didn't have any guidance as to what I was supposed to be doing. So I was trying to still be a designer and a business coach. And that is just not at all what I was about. I love my woo-woo. I love combining spirituality with business. I'm all about loving your holistic life and helping people make a shit ton of money doing what they love. That is what it is all about. Money is just an unlimited resource, and it is literally floating everywhere in our field. And I always tell people that if you're not getting enough money because you don't love money, you have to treat money like it's a relationship, like it's your best friend or your lover. And I always tell people that part of my money mindset work in the morning is to smell dollar bills and coins. Because you're literally adding it into your physical body field, like you're adding it into your energy. So it's just going to be attracted all back to you. Like I have had days where I go off of social media for a few days at a time, just a breather, and people will be messaging me because they like sense that I have had a download for a new offer. And these ideal clients just literally come to me. I hardly ever market or advertise or anything. I've done no paid advertising. I have an email list and I haven't done crap with it. My marketing manager's like, what the hell? You have 3 people on it and you don't do shit. And I'm like, I don't need it. They just come.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just unlocked this instantaneous manifestation code that I've realized because, we hear all the time, like from scientists and doctors, that we only use 3% of our brain. So why would it be so far of a stretch to say the same thing for our DNA?
Exactly.
Like through my healing modality that I've realized is what it is, I'm very clairvoyant and I tap in and I see all these like little tiny strands of DNA. Unlock the code for, like, for instance, instantaneous manifestation, the abundance blueprint, how to attract money to you, how to get rid of limiting beliefs. I literally remove them from your DNA. I did a lot of research on this, and to my knowledge, I'm the only one who does anything like this, and I fucking love it. I launched this program officially like a week and a half ago, and I am booked.
For those of you who are interested, exactly how much do you charge for let me hear the extra zeros, considering we talk about where you were in June of 2016 to today.
Yeah, in June 2016, I had just had my car repoed. I was a month behind in rent. I was choosing to buy cat food and cat versus feeding myself. And now we are at May 1st now. I did my review. I do my monthly debt reviews and everything at the end of the month. So last night I sat down. When I moved out on my own to do all this last mid-February, I was in $121,000 of debt. I am now down to 44% of that. I only have $54,000 of debt left. And that's pretty much all student loans. I've paid off 9 credit cards and 2 car loans.
Unbelievable.
And I literally have the ability to call in cash overnight in lump sums like it's no one's business. Because my manifestation is like 95% mindset. And the other 5% is actually doing the wealth healing in your DNA. Because you can manifest like a mofo all you want. But if you're not doing it from the right place, and if your chakras aren't aligned, you're going to lose it. You're going to spend it all. It's just going to disappear. And you're literally just going to be like, where did it all go? What just happened? Right. And that's what we see so many problems. Like people are like, yeah, I have a 6-figure business. And they're broke as fuck living in their car on the street. Because they don't do the actual underneath work. Like you have to heal at DNA level to keep it and continue to expand. And it's like I only now, the only ways to work with me now or to start working with me are through a 3-hour healing immersion, which is $3,333 because I love my angel numbers. And then the 6-week Money Maven program that is specifically just wealth healing is currently at $5,588. I've been told that's insane and crazy, but that doesn't bother me because I know that what I do is worth it. I've seen the success in myself and multiple past clients. I had a client who was about to divorce her husband, be kicked out of the house, not have any income. And now she's single and making about $10,000 cash every month. Cash, not signed contracts, cash.
Wow.
So, I mean, the payoff is just tremendous. And I feel like for every client now that I sign on, I'm just going to continue to increase my prices. So if you want in on this, you should message me now because I'm only taking 4 people at a time because it's very intense.
Right.
I'm not trying to lose my mind.
No, because you put that equal and or more amount of energy towards your clients. Absolutely. I can totally appreciate that. I know that I've experienced your magic, and my sales phenomenally increased because of our continued friendship and working together. But I know that you're saying mindset. So for those of specifically the audience that I'm talking to, is the energy drawings, your interaction with the mindset of hearing that your specific gift in the world was to work with money, that really, really opened you up to a whole new experience of working with it. And now it's just phenomenally amazing where you've come and what you're doing in the world. It's super magical. So
I have an nonprofit in the works too. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't say.
Yep, I have a nonprofit in the works because I am a cat lady. You know this.
You're a total cat lady.
Yes, I am working on doing the fundraising for it. It is going to be called Cat Lady Land, and the goal is to have a standalone facility where it does two separate things. We are going to be rescuing animals that need homes that are otherwise going to be killed, because pregnant cats and kittens are always the first to go in shelters, and that breaks my heart. And I'm also,
you use your cats in your sessions, right? They are psychic cats.
I have psychic cats. They choose their clients. We have 4 of them, 3 males and 1 female. And they've come and talked with you. I actually have 3 of them in here right now. They're just lounging on the floor. They're with me whenever I work. Right. They're just always hovering around. But I'm combining, like, animals are very therapeutic, and their energy is much closer to source than ours is, because, you know, they don't have, of course they have personalities, but they don't have like the family drama and stuff that we do. We're like told who we have to be as a kid. And cats are so much closer to source, and animals specifically, I feel like cats and horses are. Love them all, but that's been my personal experience. So I want to help rescue these animals that need homes, while at the same time helping men, women, and children heal from trauma. And so the goal is to do things like kitty yoga and kitty Pilates, and like have these cats just like hanging out around, and do like monthly healing circles and stuff. The regulations and stuff are, because I'm in the state of Virginia, it's pretty much going to be the same regulations for cat cafes, which are really big. I believe there's a few in DC, and I think there's a couple in California. Yeah. That's like the idea of it. And I specialize in working with victims of trauma, because I have suffered a lot of trauma in my personal life. I had a narcissistic relationship for 4.5 years that was highly emotionally and mentally abusive, that I finally had the guts to leave when I was 20. I have dealt with family separation. I have dealt with miscarriage on more than one occasion. I've been raped. It's all sorts of things that people find very taboo to discuss, and I am on a mission to change that. We shouldn't feel like we have to hide what we've gone through in order to heal. You can't hide who you are. You have to heal it and then move forward. So that's the goal of Cat Lady Land. And I donate like 33% of everything that comes in a month goes towards like other charities. Like I work with several humane societies as an animal intuitive. I donate my services to animals that have like behavioral problems, so that they can avoid being put down or other sad things. Oftentimes I'll discover that like a cat has cancer or things like that. I can tell when they're sick, and the doctors just can't tell, they don't have the funding to do like all the brain scans and stuff for animals like we do for humans. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
wow, that's amazing.
This is very emotional. I'm getting teary-eyed.
Wow, you know, that's such a beautiful part of who you are. You have at the core of everything. You may, advertise yourself about the money, but it's really about the heart, and the more energy that you are able to funnel through you, then you can then funnel to the adventures that are really passionate and close to your heart specifically, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that love is the root of everything. Love makes the world go round. Love is the highest frequency of anything. And it's, I mean, we are pure light and love. We're direct descendants from source. I mean, the more actions that you can take out of love, the more words that you can say out of love, you just make the world a better place. Absolutely. It's just like smelling the money and adding it to your energy field. When you act out of love, it's congruent. It's going to come right back to you. It's like giving, it comes back 10 times.
It really does. So tell us a little bit about, perhaps, you know, for those of you who don't have the budget right now to hire you one-on-one, what are the things that you would encourage somebody to do to help activate their own money attraction?
The whole thing with money is that you must be aware of everything to do with money in your life if you have any intention of attracting more of it. That's why I always say, for one, do your money mindset work every day. Try smelling it. Even if you only have a single dollar bill, it works. Money is money. It doesn't know the difference between a dollar bill and $100 bill. I like to personally write down all the reasons why I love money, all the things that it helps me to do. But it's important not to give money the power. It's like, I love money because it pays for. Like, say it helps. Money doesn't have the power. It only has the energy that we apply to it.
Right.
So make sure it's all about love. And also, a lot of people who are in debt have a tendency to like throw their credit card statements in the trash. They won't even look at them. They avoid looking at their bank accounts. And you're not going to attract more abundance if you can't do that. Every single morning when I do my money mindset work, I do mindset work for like 2 hours before I even touch my phone. It's imperative that you take that time for yourself before you let the work. I mean, you're just putting that bubble. And I look at every single account I sign in, and I look at the current balance. If somehow it's something negative, or if it's amount of money is where, and what debts are where they are. You have to be aware for it, and even if it's a debt, you know, you have to love that debt for the lessons that it's taught you. Like, sure, you may have gotten into a hole, but there is always a way out. Like, if you have these big, huge dreams of being a serial entrepreneur like me, or starting your own crazy business, like go to Bali on a retreat, like, these ideas were given to you for a reason. You know, I believe that any thought that comes into our mind from source is a gift, and you need to act upon it with actions and words of love. And when you make a decision that is non-fucking negotiable, like, this is your goal, this will happen, I don't care what I have to do. I may have to sell my car or live out of my car. You need to have to get yourself out of debt or to obtain more money. Like, you have to be consistent. It's not I'll try this, and then if it doesn't work, then, well, I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Right.
Like, that's the reason why people, quote unquote, fail. They don't actually make the decision that it's a non-fucking negotiable. It's going to happen.
True.
And
Absolutely.
I can go on and on about that, but
do you focus in on the clients that you want, or do you literally focus in on the dollar amount?
I always, when I'm manifesting in particular, like, the money has to have a purpose. So I say, okay, maybe I want 2 clients today. And I look at, what am I good at helping with clients? You know, I'm really good at getting them out of debt. I'm really good at helping women heal from abusive relationships.
Right.
And I have a tendency to focus on what I can actually help them with and not the dollar amount. Because, I mean, the dollar amount is just irrelevant. I mean, it's like, I recently invested another $10K in another coach that someone, like, on this webinar was like, well, what's the pricing for it? And she's like, the pricing is irrelevant. If it's speaking to your soul and you know it's something that you have to do, it's always going to be irrelevant. Because, like I said, you make it a non-fucking negotiable. Like, okay, if I need a $2,500 deposit for this coach, you'll fucking find it. You'll find a way.
Absolutely.
It depends on your drive. And it's like if I told you that if you didn't come up with $2,500 by tomorrow, your kid was going to get hit by a car or shot by someone and killed. I mean, you have to use stuff like that to drive you. Like, that is what a non-fucking negotiable is. Like, someone could die. It's dramatic, but that's the world we live in.
Absolutely. So you really hone in on your energy field. So you say you spend 2 hours. What are you doing during that couple hours?
There's a lot of yoga therapy. I practice spinal decompression yoga that helps me open up. There's a lot of meditation, mindset journaling. Okay, I do a lot of channeling in the morning. I channel through the angels and archangels, my spirit guides, deceased loved ones. My grandma comes in almost every day with like you got this. I love it. I think that when I had my session with you last summer, I think she actually was coming in a bit. I think we talked about that. And I spend at minimum 4 hours a day total on personal development because that's my priority. 2 hours in the morning is just the morning. I have to do a mid session like in the day, or if I need like 10 minutes to meditate between client sessions. And I always like have a daily review. It's like, okay, what did I do today? What could I do better tomorrow? And Andrew, my love, and I, we always meditate ourselves to sleep. Always. Last thing before we go to bed, first thing when we wake up.
You
I attracted him after meeting with you too.
As I always want and wish for all my clients, it come back at least tenfold. So absolutely. I love you had this special magical dots around your head and their crown. So there was just definitely lots of energy coming in and available to you. And of course you have this beautiful big heart. Are there any teachers that you might share with whom you and talk about the money manifestation?
I mean, you cut out a little bit, but I mean, other people that I do follow, like that I have trained under, Denise Duffield Thomas. She has the book, Get Rich, Lucky Bitch.
Oh yeah, perfect.
She has right behind me.
She's the lucky bitch. I love that.
Yes, and she also has the first book she wrote, Lucky Bitch.
Yes.
It teaches the process of manifestation. She does go into the woo-woo, which is what I love about her so much. But this is the first book that I actually picked up after my session with you, and everything just made sense, and I was like bookmarking everything in it.
And of course it's all yellow, right?
Yes, yellow for joy. I'm a high vibe joy. I have to.
The yellow.
I'm wearing my red for my love. That's what I'm drawn to.
I love that.
Yes. And like the whole healing modality thing I have too, like with crystals, like I'm surrounded by carnelian right now. This is also carnelian on my pendant that I made. And I infuse the work that I do with divine activations that I receive from stores. Hi, Whitney. Yeah, I infuse everything. Like even like I still take on the occasional design client. I infuse with soulmate sacred activation, which attracts your soulmate clients to you. And like that's honestly how like I get my message out, and like I always sell out my programs because it's infused with these activations. Like people know to come to me. Other books, You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass at Making Money. Both amazing books by Jen Sincero. Yeah, this You Are a Badass at Making Money just came out a couple of weeks ago. I actually pre-ordered a year ago when she announced it. After I read You Are a Badass, and I fell in love with it. And I read through it, and there's all the Post-its. This book honestly teaches a lot of what I do without the woo-woo. So if you're not really big into the woo-woo, this is a good book for you. Also, the book Think and Get Rich, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is a good book.
Yes.
Like I don't always read books beginning to end. Like I'll pick up a book that I feel like I need to read and I'll read a chapter or two. And like these are my go-to books. It's always about wealth consciousness and money mindset. But I've always included the wealth consciousness in everything that I do with my clients. Like even before, when I was just saying I was a mindset coach and I wasn't really owning the manifestation coach thing yet, I was always teaching wealth consciousness. And it's so funny because when you were doing my drawing, we weren't really connected yet. I was like, oh, this is cool. I want this. At the time you tapped in and did my drawing, I was filming and like writing out the workbook for my first group program that I led last year on wealth consciousness that I only charged like $500 for.
Wow.
And now we are 13 months after I started my business, and I just crossed $200,000 in sales a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's insane what happens when you make it a non-fucking negotiable. Like, for everyone who thinks that manifestation is like fake and like witchcraft and stuff, it really is just an art. It really is an art. Like that's what I call it. And it's like like my tribe, we are boss goddesses and we practice the goddess hustle. It's all about, oh, thank you, Whitney. It is all about everything with love. Like everyone hates the word hustle. And I know a lot of people hate the word hustle, but I like the goddess hustle is all about from the divine feminine, only taking action on what feels good. You don't have to work 20 hours a day to make the money that I do. I mean, some days I do work like 16 hours a day. And I honestly do work every day a little bit just because I give so much to my clients. They get my personal phone number for shit's sake. Like they talk to me and let me know like when there's emergencies. Like I don't respond to messages and stuff unless it is an emergency on the weekends, but I always make myself available just in case because I mean, you can have panic attacks over money. Like, it's not a joke. Like, if someone's freaking out, I need to be able to calm them down.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is that you've been there, right? You hold that road and you know exactly what they might be experiencing intimately. Experience that same thing. Able to help just that space to let them know now and that can change.
Yeah,
there's permanence of word and just to have faith and you have a lot of power with your clients for sure. So
yeah, and I mean honestly, the thing like the reason why we have so much money karma drama can often be found in our Akashic records, which I have my own modality that I work within. I have a certification program for all that I do. I'm creating 3 little mini-me's that are in certification program right now.
Wow.
Yes, late night messages. I have been there. And within the Akashic records, I discovered that my family has so much money karma crap, like house foreclosures and like family members have declared bankruptcy like 5 different times. Like my dad had a business that failed, so of course he freaked out when I told him I was starting my own business. And I had 9 generations back on my dad's side of the family. There was a male ancestor who was really big into ivory and game hunting. And he caused all this money shit for us. Not only that, but my guides in the Akashic records told me that, oh, by the way, it's up to you to fix that. And I was just like, okay, how do I do that?
Wow.
And lo and behold, the answer is by helping the animals and by loving the animals. And my whole life, I have been obsessed with cats. And this was back in the fall, back when I really was like, I really want to start this nonprofit. Like, I know nothing about running a nonprofit. I worked with nonprofits, but I know nothing about this. And so I started researching and like it just made sense. Like my soul already knew that's what the answer was to healing this financial karma, but I had to hear it from my guides in the Akashic records for it to finally click and for me to actually start taking action on it. Like it's not just an idea, it's meant to be. Wow. Well, that, I
I'm so honored to be in time and where and how just a simple energy drawing can help somebody really align to the power of who they are and
attract their twin flame and soulmate.
It's a privilege and honor to have had that experience with you and see your magical journey.
Oh, thank you. It's all because of this one like leap of faith I took on this session. And like I always tell people, like that was like the trigger point for me, like for actually owning it. I had to see it literally on paper in front of my face.
Well, that's, really, when you get dollar signs in your auric field, I think.
And I was the first one to get dollar signs too, when you were like, yeah, you have money signs in your field. And I looked at that and I was like, holy shit.
Yes. Well, and here you are. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience? How do they get a hold of you?
They can private message me on either my personal Facebook, Ashley Goldberning. I'll comment the thing below. I think I'm in the group for this. Yeah. Or they can message me on my Facebook page. You can email me, hello@autumnroad.co. Today, actually, to me, 5 is the number of the goddess, and this whole month is all about expansion. Because I work with the abundance codes of the goddess Isis, who is the goddess of all creation. She's the mother goddess. And I had this divine download overnight, actually, that I am opening up a temple called the Hustle Goddess Temple. Goddess Hustle Temple, something like that. I haven't finalized the wording on it yet, but it's basically going to be like a central hub where people can start working with me at a lower end. For less than $100 a month, and I'm going to be doing weekly healings and coachings, moon calls, which I know everyone loves, having the manifestation calls for the new and full moon. And the doors are officially opening on the 15th, but for those who aren't ready to invest in a bigger program, that would be something really good to start with, if you're interested.
I love that. Well, I can't say enough good things. I mean, you're just magical, and you're just getting started.
Yeah.
And all this, and that's beautiful. Working with the divine feminine energy, I just think it's. Thank you. I'm going to have you as well. Again, thank you for your time, Ashley. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I always love connecting with you. Mwah.